Hello everybody, my name is Javier Gramona and as a president of Corpinat, together with Tom Mata, co-presidents, and on behalf of Corpinat, we want to introduce you today to the economic data which for the first time we present to the market, and we do it in a very special date. It's been 3 years since we presented Corpinat to the market, and the idea has been consolidated and it has been growing in our hearts and in the mind, I would say, of the consumers. Well, Corpinat was created with a main aim, and it's to clearly demonstrate to the consumers, to the wine lovers, that very good sparkling wines can be made in our area, in our Penedès Valley. And to do so, we created a collective European brand which has very specific values and requirements. I would say they are the most probably say high requirements the sparkling wine can have in the world. So in those 3 years we have consolidated the idea of Corpinat. We've been going from 6 to 10 members actually, and we have basically go over a few figures, economic figures, that we will introduce you today. And before that, I would just go over some of our values, which are mainly those who define us as a collective brand. And I will talk to you about the vines basically now. The vines means that, well, we belong to a territory, sorry, we belong to a territory which is Penedès, and we try to have the identity of this territory. I was reading short ago about an English journalist saying that we are really Mediterranean sparkling wines. That's what we try to demonstrate, that we can do a top sparkling wine in our Mediterranean valley. And in the vine, we try to be, well, adding all the vigneron to our value chain. That is, we ask our members to contract in long-term relations with all the vignerons they might buy some grape. As an association, we are allowed also to mark a minimum price that it's quite much higher than the average price in the area. So we try the vigneron to be included that way also economically in our value chain. We have to go we have to work on local varieties mostly. So we try at the beginning that 90% of all our production belongs to local varieties. The rest 10% it's because historically it has been in the past maybe 50 years, it has been planted a lot of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in our area, so that we try to respect this 20% who was planted in the past. And anyway, our aim is to go for very local wines with local identity. Our wines have to come from ecological varieties, so ecological agriculture, sorry. And that means that we have to be 100% ecological in all our company, not only for sparkling wines, but also still wines. All our grapes have to be harvested manually, and also, what else? All the harvest has to be audited, so that deeply audited in that case by Bureau Veritas. I don't know if I forget something, Tom, that might be important in the vines.
I think about the vines you have said the most important requirements, and then it's true that we have another important requirements in the cellar. You know, for us, one of the most important requirement in Corpinat is that you have to do your own vinification in the state, in your own cellar. So if you want to use the name Corpinat, it's completely forbidden to buy wines to other companies. You have to produce your own wines from your own grapes, or as Xavi said, you can buy grapes to other vine grower, but always you have to transform this grape in your own cellar. This is something important for us, very, very important for us, because unfortunately it's not very common in our place. Mostly of the companies, they don't do that. And for us in Corpinat, we have established this as a requirement, as a quality requirement. And also, we want to explain to the world that's possible to produce long aging sparkling wines in our area. So the minimum aging on the lease for the whole company must be 18 months. And we are producing sparkling wines even with much more aging than that. But this is our minimum. You know, we have a long history of producing long aging sparkling wines in the Mediterranean, in a warm place. So it's something that we wanted to put as a requirement, as a quality requirement, and we want to explain to the world that we are producing in this style. Okay, so something also important for us is talking about the aging, is that 80% of all that we do in our Corpinat companies is more than 30 months on the lease. You can imagine that everybody in Corpinat is producing sparkling wines with a real long aging on the lees, with a real long contact with the dead yeast inside the bottle, and this is part of our main style. Okay, so it's true that we produce also 20% between 18 and 30 months, but anyway 18 months minimum on the lease. We believe that's one of the most quality requirement that you can find probably all over the world. So this is very, very important for us when we want to explain our wines. Okay, more things that we can talk about it is about the economic, well, all the sales that we have. Maybe Xavi, he can explain better than me all this part, and then I come back for explain more things. Okay.
Yes. Well, it's the first time we introduce some figures about Corpinat. Just remember, we are 10 of us right now as members of the Corpinat Association, and we have been regularly going for about more than 2 million bottles. Obviously, 2020 has been a very difficult year, so we are very much depending on HoReCa gastronomic restaurants. As you know, they have been suffering so much, especially in Spain. So that, well, we have decreased a bit our sales, obviously, our position in the market. Since all Corpinat sparklings are gastronomic sparklings, they are very much related to HoReCa, and our clients have suffered that much. So that we are over these 2 million bottles regularly. We have gone to 1.7 this year. And well, the billing has been going down a little bit less, since our top sparklings have been still preferred by probably private consumers who have looked for them anywhere. But anyway, another important data might be that these 70 euros as a average price that we have been taking to the market, I think it's an interesting average price for a sparkling wine from our country. And well, that's I think it's a unique average price in the sparkling Spanish wine world. We have more than 60 references with this average price. And another interesting question that is, by being small family owned cellars, we have gathered, not in 2020 obviously, because movements were very limited for the people, but in 2019 we had more than 35,000 visits to our cellars. Those visits are quite complete visits, so they are people likes to walk around the vineyards that we all have to own, and they are really interested in knowing all the ecological process that we have, sometimes biodynamic process or related to forests or any other sustainable practice that we might explain you a bit in the next few moments. But I'd like to just say, on top of the economic profile, I would say that we are proud that our influence, and it was one of the aims of Corpinat when it was created, has been mostly that all the sparkling wine in Spain has been making strong changes in the last 2 years, thanks to our influence, thanks to the Corpinat idea in the market. And that means that Classic Penedès, Cava, they have worked hard to increase the quality profiles and to zonify for the first time in more than 30 years in our country, so that there is a whole evolution in the sparkling wine world that we are proud of, because we believe we've been a true engine for this change. And that's probably the main influence we might have had in the market. So maybe Tom can go on with some more data which are interesting.
Yes, I would like to say as well that having had almost 35,000 visitors in our place, it's something amazing for us. We love that the people come here to visit us. It's the place where we feel more comfortable. We can show our vineyards, we can show our cellars. The people can connect with our teams, with the family owners, and that's something really very important for us, and we are very happy about that, the potential that we have. Also, I like to say that we have altogether around 800 hectares that we are cultivating. So, of course, we are a small group, but the quantity of hectares that we have and that we are growing, it's such a very important number too. I think that we have to say that. We are, first of all, vine growers, and after that we are wine producers. So this is a very important point, that we take care of our vineyards. Also, in more the social point, we have to say that at the moment all the companies that we are in Corpinat, we are family-owned companies. We have an emotional connection with our territory. You know the name Cor, it means heart, and Pinat, it means Penedès. So we are located in the heart of Penedès, in the Corpinat territory, and it's an important heart connection with our place. So that's why we feel that we have to do the things very well done. We feel that we have to explain all that we do, and we like very much to receive people in our place. Also, in terms of sustainability, as we have said several times, we are organic. The whole company in Corpinat must be organic, but also some of the companies that are in Corpinat are working in biodynamic ways, also are working in more efficiency in terms of energy. Also, the small forests that we have here in Penedès are a very important natural value for the biodiversity. So we need to take care about all these small forests that we have, that they have survived along the history. And we are trying to also work in terms of the biodiversity and in terms of recover the stone walls that were made by our great-grandparents, okay? So maybe Xavi can go on with the national and international awards that we have had, and some more interesting things.
Yes, I would tell you that, well, Corpinat has also, although being small family cellars, we are deeply connected with social responsibility, a bit like connecting with land sustainability, the earth sustainability, and we also collaborating as a group and individually with different local cultural and social events. And that's one point that, well, you might have information in case you like. But then, to go ahead, yes, we have been impressed by the acceptance and recognition that the Corpinat concept had around the world among most, say, wine journalists and wine lovers. And we thank you, probably to all of you, that this idea has been spread. The idea that you can have a top sparkling wine in our area, or at least a sparkling wine representing this Mediterranean character with possibility to be a top sparkling wine of the world. Well, for instance, La Revue de Vin de France, they just came into the market with a new number, or with a new issue, and they have a list, a number of, I think, 25 top Spanish wines, and those lists include 2 sparkling wines from Corpinat. That's quite, say, a way to recognize that sparkling wines can be among the top traditional red wines from Spain, and some whites, obviously. I miss some sherry, I have to say, in this list. Anyway, we also had recognitions from national wine lists or guides or contests, and it's very unique how the sparkling wine was perceived 30, 25 years ago in Spain by the same local journalists and how it is perceived now. So we are regularly among the best Spanish wines, and Corpinat has the honor to be in this top of the list lately. Well, I don't know, Ton, if we're missing some important things.
Well, I think that the most important things are said. Just for me to say that this 20% that we are exporting at this moment, it's very, very important for us, but I think that we have a wonderful, amazing challenge in the future, because I think that we can even export more, because the expectation that Corpinat has created around the world is very beautiful for us. It's really amazing, the opportunity that we have, because I think that the world wants to discover this traditional and historic sparkling wine from the traditional method, done in our country, in the Mediterranean, with our own grapes, with the way that we do it, with the requirements that we do it. So we are very happy about these 3 years, and I think that that's all that we would like to say. So thank you very much for being there, and that's all from our part, I think.
Yes, thank you very much for listening and taking your time, and well, I hope that you might contact us for any doubt you may have. You have Corpinat, Corpinat, yes, gerencia.corpinat. Well, you may be in contact with our management. We have a team of 2 people who are devoted to take your comments and your questions, and we will be very happy to answer them. Thank you for listening again, and see you soon.
Thank you very much.